I'm 41 now, and up until I was 25, I was chasing what most people are: the riches, status, beauty, and success. But it wasn't until recently, when my dad was diagnosed with dementia, that I started to realize that I was chasing the wrong things and in the wrong road to happiness. I came to the realization that time is not infinite, and we have a short time to spend here on earth. Our future isn't guaranteed. And so why do we do things that we might later on regret along the road? You see, my dad spent the last 30 years of his life living a life of regret, thinking back to the time when things were better, when things were great. A life of if-onlys, a life of what-ifs. You see, he had lost his job, and my mom had passed away at a very young age of 57. And most of his days was spent thinking about the days when things were great, the times when he could have done something. And so observing my father practically waste around about 20 years of his life on regrets made me realize the things that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video today. First, no one is coming to save you. No matter what people say or what they do, you ultimately have the final decision in deciding how you're going to live your life and what will truly make you happy and fulfilled. I realized that I couldn't keep waiting for the right person or the right time for things to happen for me. I had to get up and do things for myself. I had to go and pursue my dreams, and I had to know when it was time for me to give up or when it was time for me to push forward. I couldn't keep waiting for someone to help me like my dad had done when he lost his job. I can't now just continue living my life with the hopes that someone's gonna come along and just rescue me and everything's gonna be right. I have to make my choices, and I have to live with my choices. So I have to be able to discern between what is right and what is wrong, what is good for me and what is bad for me. True wealth is having peace of mind and a sound body. I used to chase riches. I used to think that if only I could have the best job, if only I could get that promotion, if only I could just get a raise, a pay rise, then I would feel happier, I would feel much better. But I realized that it wasn't about how much money I had in my bank account, but how happy I felt with the money that I had in my bank account. I started to realize that I had to look inward into myself and into what made me really happy, rather than chasing all of those dreams and all of those goals, and then maybe 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, realizing that I'm not where I actually want to be. I've had to look at the priorities in my life and rearrange them, and I've had to accept some of changes that I know will ultimately lead me to a much more fulfilling life, a life that I can look back on and smile rather than regret. Looking younger is a waste of time. Feeling younger and thinking younger is where longevity lies. So you see, my dad looks younger than his age, but he let his mind and his health go. And that saddens me deeply, because I know that he stopped learning, and that the moment he stopped learning and the moment he stopped accepting new things into his life was a time that his brain started getting older. So he wasn't doing anything to keep his mind younger. He wasn't doing anything to keep his brain functioning. And I do feel that that is also a contributor to his getting dementia. From all of the things I've read, from the professional input that we've had from his psychologists and his doctors, he needed to have been more active than he was, but not just physically, not just taking care of how he looked like on the outward, but also how he felt on the inside, his mind. So taking care of my mental health has become top priority for me. I want to be able to keep my mind going for as long as it can. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I don't know what my future is going to bring. But I know that if I keep learning and if I keep assimilating new things, I have a better chance and a better possibility of being able to enjoy my life when I'm much older, when I'm in my 70s and my 80s. I don't know how long I have left, but whatever time I have left, I want to spend it meaningfully. And I know that learning is something that I really and truly enjoy. And I believe that it's something that can keep your mind and your spirit younger, and perhaps also show on your face, because I feel like when you get in touch with your child, your inner child, children are naturally curious, right? So building that sense of curiosity can keep you childlike, and it can also reflect on how you look, on your physical appearance. So never stop learning. You are not indispensable. I realized that when I started to get burnt out when I was working. I found out that when I took time off, the job that I felt that I had thought nobody else would be able to do got done somehow. They didn't need me. So many people didn't even know that I was away. I was so burnt out that I was physically ill. And for a month, I had to take a month off from work. And most people didn't even know that I was gone. Only a few people knew that I was gone. And I just realized that, hey, if anything were to happen to me, the company would keep going. Nothing's gonna stop. The wheels will keep turning. So why was I living to work rather than working to live? Once I realized that, I had to change my mentality completely, and it has been absolutely life-changing for me. I feel much more relaxed, much more confident in myself, in my abilities, in what I can do, not only for my company, but also for myself. I have built more time for me to spend time doing the things that I love, the things that I enjoy doing, my interests. So traveling, reading a book, or just sitting around drinking tea and playing a game on my phone. But these are the moments when I am in touch with myself and I am able to find my worth in this life, because my worth doesn't have to be tied to any job. Your worth in life is not tied to your job. Your worth is tied to the things that actually make you fulfilled. So whether that be your family or your friends, or maybe a hobby or an interest or your own business, right? Or starting a YouTube channel, for example. But whatever it is that will give you a sense of belonging, a sense of accomplishment, that is what your worth is tied to, not your job, or not what anybody else is doing or saying, or not doing or not saying, for that matter. Do not be ashamed to ask for help. Now, I watched my father, yet again, my dad as an example. So I watched my father live with so much pride in himself and in his abilities that he was unwilling to accept change or to ask for help when he actually needed it. Now, being proud of yourself and of your abilities is not a bad thing. I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of the things that I've achieved. But I know that when I can't do everything, I know that we are all humans and we can't do everything ourselves. And there are moments in our lives where we will need somebody's help. And it is not a bad thing, nor a shameful thing for you to ask someone for help. It is only in asking that we grow, only when we seek that we find. And so asking for that little help or a big help shouldn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a thing. Might just change your life. So why not try it? Competition and comparison isn't all a bad thing. Now, most people would say, do not compare yourself to anybody else. I've said it several times. Don't compare yourself, because you're not in competition with anyone. You are running your own race. But I feel that without competition, there is no fun. There is no fun in life. If you are not competing with yourself, especially, if you are not competitive, you will not improve, you will not be better, you will not be a better person. And so having a little bit of competition in life is essential to finding something or finding meaning, finding a way to keep yourself grounded in a way. you should care about people. There is always going to be that one person that matters a lot to you besides yourself, and you should care what they think and how they feel, because not caring about anybody in life just makes no sense. As humans, we are social beings. As humans, we need each other. There is no individual without a society. There is no one person without a community. We say that no man is an island, right? That's an expression. And so by caring what the people around us feel, caring what the people we love think and feel, we are fulfilling our duties as humans. I want to be able to turn around and have someone care for me. There is nothing wrong with that. You can be strong even though you care about somebody else. So thinking that to be strong means to only love ourselves, I have found that that is absolutely wrong. Because look at my dad today. He depends on us, his family, because without us, without our love and without our care, he feels alone and he feels lost. So you should care about others and have others care about you. I'm an introvert, but I still love people, and I think that there is some measure of good in most people. And living a life where we completely avoid people, I feel, is something that we might regret in the future. So here are the things that I have been able to realize in my 41 years of living on this planet called Earth. And I hope that my life is something that I can look back on in the future and smile and think, yes, I lived the life that I wanted to live. I have little to no regrets. You should live your life with no regrets. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, ciao, ciao.